Slow zoom on a foggy window, rain outside, soft amber light. There's a feeling you probably know well. Not sadness. Exactly. Not laziness. It's more like standing in a hallway waiting for a door to open that you somehow believe will finally make your real life begin. You've been waiting for a while now, and the strangest part, you don't know what you're waiting for. A person sitting at a desk, staring at a blank screen, soft morning light. Maybe it sounds like this inside your head. Once I figure out my purpose, once I move to a new city, once I lose the weight, finish the course, feel more ready, then my life starts. But that moment never quite arrives, and so you exist in this strange in-between space, fully capable, quietly paralyzed. You watch other people seem to just live boldly, messily, fully. And you wonder what they know. Thought you don't. Single quotes to time-lapse of a city moving fast while one figure stays still. Here's what psychology calls this: temporal self-appraisal. It's a cognitive pattern where the mind consistently places the ideal self at a future point in time, not now. Later. Psychologists have studied this for decades, and what they've found is this: the brain isn't being lazy, it's doing something far more interesting. It's protecting you. Soft light refracting through glass, slow and quiet. Before we go further, I want you to hear something clearly. You are not stuck because you are weak. You are not waiting because you are broken. You are waiting because your brain is extraordinarily good at something called threat anticipation. The same cognitive system that kept your ancestors alive in genuinely dangerous environments is now running in a world where the threats are invisible. Judgment, failure, irrelevance. Your nervous system cannot tell the difference between a predator in the grass and the possibility that you might try something and it might not work, so it stalls, it defers, it says, not yet. This isn't a character flaw. It's biologically to the wrong century. Abstract animation of neural pathways lighting up, slow and blue. Let's go a little deeper. There's a structure in your brain called the anterior cingulate cortex. Think of it as a conflict detector. Every time you consider taking a meaningful step, starting the project, having the conversation, committing to the direction, this region lights up and begins scanning for uncertainty. And uncertainty, to the brain, registers as danger. A compass spinning, unable to find north. Now pair that with something called identity foreclosure. This is a concept from developmental psychology, the idea that some people never fully commit to an identity. Best committing means closing doors, and closed doors feel like loss. So the mind holds everything open, keeps all options floating. It feels like freedom, but it functions like a cage, a figure standing at a crossroads in fog, all paths equally unclear. Then there's a third mechanism, the arrival fallacy, coined by psychologist Tal Ben-Shahar. It's the quiet belief that once you arrive at a certain point, a goal, a version of yourself, a circumstance, you will finally feel complete. The problem: the brain adapts instantly. What felt like the destination becomes the new baseline within weeks, sometimes days. So the horizon moves and you keep walking toward it, never arriving, always almost there. 3. Systems. 1. Result: a life lived in permanent preparation for a life that never quite begins. Slow pull back from a single candle flame, soft darkness around it. So what do you actually do with this? Not motivation, not hustle. Something quieter, something that works with your brain instead of against it. Shrink: the starting linear single step forward on a long road. The brain resists big beginnings. Big beginnings look like big risks. So stop trying to begin your life. Begin your morning. Begin the next hour. Behavioral psychology calls this implementation in Sheth, simple act of anchoring a behavior to a specific time and place. Not, I'll start being a writer, but at 8 a.m. at this desk, I'll write one paragraph. The brain stops scanning for danger when the action is small. To feel survivable. Survival is the threshold, not greatness. Just survivable. Separate identity from outcome. Epison walkinginrain.com. Not rushing. You've been waiting to feel like some wine boy, you act like them. Psychology suggests it works the other way. James Clear, drawing on behavioral research, describes identity as the accumulation of evidence. You become the writer by writing. Not by deciding you are one. Each small action is a vote cast toward a version of yourself. You don't need certainty, you need repetition. Most people never acknowledge that they're in the waiting. They just live there, slightly dissociated from the present. Psychologist Stephen Hayes developed a framework called acceptance and commitment therapy. On one of its core insights is this: you cannot move through it, you refuse to name. So name it. Say it plainly, even just to yourself. I have been living in preparation. I have been treating my life like a rehearsal, and I am ready today to let it be the performance. Naming activates the prefrontal cortex. It creates distance between you and the pattern. Distance is where choice lives. Principle 4. Let incompleteness be the condition of finished painting. Beautiful in its imperfection here is perhaps the deepest reframe. You will never feel ready, not because you lack something but because readiness, as you've imagined it, doesn't exist. Research on tolerance of ambiguity shows that high-functioning creative individuals are not those who eliminate uncertainty. They are those who learn to move within it. The goal is not to reach the shore for you swim. The goal is to become someone who is comfortable swimming. Measure presence, not progress finally. Stop measuring your life against the future version of itself. Start measuring it against this moment. Were you here today? Did you do something, anything thought belonged to who you were rather than who you're waiting to become? Psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi's decade studying what makes humans feel most alive. His answer was not achievement, it was flowful presence in a meaningful activity. Your real life is not waiting behind a door, it is happening in the texture of ordinary moments that you keep stepping over on the way to something else. Slow aerial view of a river finding its path through land. Here is a simple mental model to carry with you. Think of your life as a river. A river doesn't wait until the terrain is perfecto. Begin moving. It moves now through obstacles around resistance, slowly shaping the landscape. The simple act of continuing. You've been standing at the riverbank. Maps of where the water should go buffer you. Let it flow. The map is not the river. The river. And rivers don't begin. They are already moving. Single figure walking slowly through open landscape at golden hour. No destination shown. I've carried this feeling for a long time. This sense that your real life is somewhere just ahead, just out of reach, almost ready to begin. And maybe, after everything we've explored today, you can feel how the brain constructed that feeling, not out of cruelty, not out of weakness, but out of its oldest, deepest instinct. Keep me safe. You can thank it for that. And then, gently, you can tell it, I am safe enough to be here. I am enough, as I am, to begin, not later. Now slow fade to soft black ambient music fades the hallway you've been standing in. It was never the waiting room for your life. It was your life. And it's been happening the whole time.